And we are coming up on the 21st anniversary of 9/11 on Sunday. And one local nonprofit is honoring the victims and heroes from that day.
Plus, what have researchers found that could be linked to a higher risk of long COVID.
And we are talking about some of the biggest football matchups this week, both on the high school and college level.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It is Thursday, September 8th.
And before we begin, we are tracking the latest on Queen Elizabeth amid renewed concerns about her health.
Reuters News Service reports family members, including Prince Charles, have rushed to be at her side today. Doctors say she will remain under medical supervision at Balmoral Castle in Scotland.
The 96-year-old monarch had already scaled back public appearances at the end of last year due to mobility issues. She was recently pictured with new British Prime Minister Liz Truss, but again, there are new concerns about her health today.
We'll keep you updated on air and online at KSAT.com.
Let's look outside with TransGuide right now. It is 8:59, and we saw a couple of slowdowns on the road. This one at Loop 410 and Ingram North.
That's right. This is in the eastbound lanes right now. We have stacking traffic, leftovers from the morning commute all over town right now. If we see any other trouble spots, we will pop those up. There's another one of them, 37 right now at Houston Street. That appears to be northbound I-37.
And let's take a quick peek outside with a live cam. 77 degrees, a little humid this morning, but I mean, after all that rain, I guess we should expect some humidity.
Yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. But how nice was the rain yesterday? Beautiful. We had the thunder, some lightning, just some good rain, nothing severe, just the way we like it. We'll have another shot for some rain, I think, this afternoon, but it's a small chance, smaller than yesterday. Let's go back outside for you and show you that scene. We've got clear skies here in San Antonio right now. It's 80 degrees. At the airport. Dew point is at 69. As Steph pointed out, it is a little humid out there with calm winds. Feels like 83 at this hour. Pollen count came in. It was a long list. Molds were moderate, 750. Fall elm, pigweed, grass, ragweed, all there. But they're all in the low category, so there's that. But we'll probably start to see some longer lists as we head into the fall when it comes to those allergens. Rain chances today, we're going to keep them at 10%, so it's not a great shot, but there will be some stray showers and maybe a storm or two out there this afternoon. Mainly between the hours of 2 and 8 o'clock. It's basically the same time frame as we were looking at yesterday. Would that interrupt football tonight? Not really. I think there could be a stray storm, but chances are football games go on without a hitch. Sunset 7:47. By halftime, temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Today's Thursday, so you know what day that is. Drought Monitor day. We're going to check it on that. It has improved a lot. We'll look at that coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
That will be good news. Thank you, Justin.
And let's look at today's 9 at 9.
A 19-year-old man has been arrested in connection to a shooting rampage across Memphis, Tennessee Wednesday that left 4 people dead and 3 hurt. Police say at least one of the shootings was streamed on Facebook Live. The city came to a standstill as the manhunt was underway. A motive has not been released.
We may never know why 10 people were fatally stabbed and 18 others were injured in Canada. Police say they arrested a second suspect in the case, but he died in custody. The first suspect was found dead on Monday. Both men were brothers.
As President Biden seeks an additional $2 billion in military assistance for Ukraine, Ukrainian forces are widening their counteroffensive against Russian troops in the country's south and east. President Volodymyr Zelensky says his troops have had some success. This comes amid reports that Russia is looking to buy more ammunition from North Korea, but there's no indication that Russia has actually followed through on the purchase.
Steve Bannon is expected to enter a plea of not guilty during his arraignment in New York today. The charges are related to an effort to raise money to fund the U.S. southern border wall construction. The crowdfunding raising effort raised more than $25 million, but prosecutors allege Bannon and 3 others defrauded donors.
The Department of Justice is asking a judge to unredact more details from the FBI Mar-a-Lago affidavit, specifically details about subpoenas that were issued in the investigation into the handling of government documents. Usually, grand jury information must remain secret until a charge is brought, but the DOJ argues that this information was already publicly discussed.
The man charged with the murder and kidnapping of a Memphis teacher had his bond revoked yesterday. The suspect's public defender also resigned from representing him. He will be in court again this morning to continue his arraignment on the murder charges. The judge in his case is also expected to assign a new public defender so the case can move forward.
Millions of people across the West are bracing for yet another day of blistering heat. New video shows homes on fire as the so-called mosquito fire burns in Tahoe National Forest. It's threatening more than 1,000 buildings, and it comes just hours after the state narrowly avoided a power crisis.
It is looking more and more like the Federal Reserve is getting ready for another interest rate hike of 0.75%. The Wall Street Journal says Fed officials have done little to push back against expectations of a third consecutive hike that size when the Fed meets in a couple of weeks.
New iPhones officially unveiled by Apple. The iPhone 14 lineup includes the ability to connect with satellites for sending emergency messages from areas not covered by regular cell services. Prices for the new phones are staying the same as last year's models. And that's today's 9 at 9.
In the morning headlines, some odd information coming in from that investigation into the murdered investigative reporter in Las Vegas. And the woman accused of trying to take a child here in San Antonio at a Walmart on the far west side has a New York State crime connection.
Plus, COVID causing long-term problems and a discovery of a little mammal roaming the earth with the dinosaurs. David Sears is here.
Must have been running really fast.
I would imagine.
To get away with it, but it was like a little bitty thing. So like, what even a snack, really. We'll get to that in just a second, but first let's start with this. A local Las Vegas politician has been arrested in connection with the murder of an investigative reporter, a critic of the politician. The politician is the Clark County Administrator, Robert Tellis. A SWAT team raided his home and found him holed up there. He is part of a curious twist. When he left his home, he was wearing a white hazmat suit when investigators took him out. Investigators didn't explain the suit, but did explain that Tellis is the lead suspect in the murder of Jeff Gurman. Gurman was found dead outside his home Saturday. He had been stabbed multiple times. There is video of a suspect near Gurman's house that has been released. Of course, Gurman is the investigative reporter. According to investigators, it looks like this person was casing the area before committing a crime. He tried to disguise himself as a member of a local burglary ring. There were photos of the killer's vehicle. That vehicle towed and the street was evacuated yesterday. Everybody, even residents and media, all had to get out. They even had to get some ladders to help some residents get to safety. Then the SWAT team moved in. Tellis was arrested, taken to the hospital because he stabbed himself. So far, Tellis has not said anything. And this is a scary and bizarre story, and it is getting a lot of attention online. We told you about a woman who tried just to take another woman's child from a Walmart parking lot here in San Antonio. She's 35-year-old Jessica Vega. The mom told police Vega grabbed her shopping cart and started taking off with her 4-year-old daughter. An employee ran to the rescue and grabbed the child. There is much more to the story. Vega, no stranger to breaking the law. 10 years ago, she pled guilty after getting caught running a scam in New York, telling people she had cancer. She collected thousands of dollars to pay for a wedding and a honeymoon in Aruba. Her ex-husband says he also took the bait. He even called us to tell us about the connection. We confirmed it. Now Vegas is under house arrest. A hearing is set for next month. And if you heard of COVID-19, listen up. There is a study out that says things like depression, anxiety, loneliness, worry, perceived stress are all associated with up to 50% higher risk of long COVID if you've had COVID. That study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry. Some common long COVID symptoms include fatigue, that dreaded loss of taste or smell, brain fog, and even memory issues. Now, the study was not very broad. It only looked at mostly white females. That, of course, limits the results, and also it relied on self-reporting rather than on a diagnosis. And finally this morning, meet the world's oldest mammal, and it is not human. This is an illustration of what it looked like, a small shrew-like creature. Scientists believe it walked the earth 225 million years ago. It was only 8 inches long, but lived during the time of the dinosaurs. The creature's age was figured out by using fossils of hard tissues like bones and teeth. The dental records were published in the study for the Journal of Anatomy on Tuesday. What's amazing is they have dental records.
Yeah.
Looks like a mini mongoose or honey badger or something like that.
It does, but if you consider it's like that small, I mean, would that even be a snack for a dinosaur?
Like a little rat.
Like, yeah, it's like they would like just crush it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it didn't.
Well, maybe it was like, spending its time underground, or who knows.
Biden.
Prehistoric shrew.
There you go.
David, thank you.
All right.
9:07, about 79 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Illegal dumping has become an issue throughout Bexar County. what the Environmental Services Department is doing to catch people in the act and put them behind bars. Plus,
Sunday marks the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. How a local nonprofit is honoring the victims and heroes coming up.
It's a day honoring the victims and heroes of September 11th by giving back.
United Way of San Antonio and Bexar County are creating hundreds of family emergency kits for 9/11 Day of Service and Remembrance.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from the Salvation Army Center with a look at today's event. Tiffany, who is all involved in this?
Good morning. Volunteers from across the community are here this morning. Just check it out. They're all gathering here and putting these kits together. There's batteries, flashlights, just different items. To talk a little bit more about this, we have Sylvia and Susie here. Susie, good morning. Let's talk about United Way and how this program started.
Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you for having us. So about 3 years ago, we started this event in commemoration for 9/11 to remember those victims and heroes from the 9/11 event and to also honor those volunteers and community service members in the wake of the event.
And what's happening here this morning? Talk to us about what they're going to be doing.
Great. So we have volunteers here that are here to assemble 1,200 kits with emergency items, as well as a checklist that goes through how to determine, come up with a disaster plan, and numerous things to know what's important about a disaster.
Who'll be getting these kits?
Yes. We have 9 safety net partners that will be distributing these to individuals and families in our community. And our United Way Safety Net does help to provide essential needs to those in crisis by supporting the transition to economic stability, increasing access to healthy food, connecting those to emergency shelter, and also providing services that lead to housing stability.
Is there still a chance for people to volunteer?
Yes. We invite anyone to go to our website, which is uwsatx.org, to provide more information about volunteer opportunities as well as giving back.
And let's hear from one of the volunteers. We have Sylvia over here. Good morning, Sylvia. Tell us about what this means for you.
Well, I am a military veteran, and so this really means a lot to support our community and be creating these preparation kits to do that.
For people that want to come out here, what is the environment like this morning?
Yeah, it's really fun. Folks are getting into it, and a lot of different companies are here, and people from across the neighborhood, so it's really great.
Have you volunteered here before?
I have. We did it through CPS at Christmas time, creating similar preparation kits for holidays.
Really exciting. Thank you so much. We're going to have all these details, and we're going to continue talking to different people about what this means for them and how it's going to help families in our community. And we're going to have all that information on the noon show and on KSAT.com. Back to you in the studio.
Tiffany, thank you.
And let's look outside with TransGuide really quick. There is an accident out there, and so the holdup is at Loop 1604 and Hebner.
Westbound lanes.
Westbound lanes, and yeah, you can see the emergency vehicles out there.
And Justin was nice enough to pull up a map for us here. This is one of our big traffic trouble spots. There's a couple of accidents kind of still lingering from this morning.
There are. We're noticing a couple on the map. As we look at the big picture here, there's a couple there, one on the northwest side, and then that one you guys just alluded to there on the far north side along 1604. Right in between Blanco and Hebner. It's near to Blanco, but it is backing up traffic all the way past Stone Oak Parkway, almost to 281. That again is westbound 1604. So just a heads up there. Hey, it is Thursday, so we got to point out the Drought Monitor. This is last week, so this was the situation we were dealing with. A lot of places still within exceptional drought, especially here around San Antonio. Look at the improvement. Okay, now we're in extreme drought, which still isn't good, but it is better than it was, And you notice that most of the western half of the viewing area doing a lot better too. We're chipping away at this drought slowly but surely. It's been a good couple of months for us. And as we look at Medina Lake, well, there has not been improvement here. And Medina Lakes, you know, it takes a lot to get Medina Lake filled back up. It's got to rain really hard on a very specific area, but it is 7.9% full and still dropping. It is down 76 feet. We'll keep tabs on that as well. Some of the other lakes, though, as we showed you yesterday, Amistad doing a lot better, and some of our rivers, streams starting to flow again. So there are some positive signs here. I want to show you the rainfall for August and September. So this is both months together. Del Rio, one of the big winners, 9.34. Uvalde, 5.84. San Antonio, over 3 inches. Kerrville, nearly 3 inches. Gonzales, nearly 2 inches. And New Braunfels, little over an inch. So we've seen some good numbers over the last couple of months. Some places a lot more than others, as you can see here, but at least the rain has been around, and it was around yesterday. We love seeing it. Right now, we've got mostly clear skies and 80 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 69, feels like 83. And most everyone is in either the 70s or the 80s at this point. It was somewhat of a cool morning as you got up into the hill country, still 69 in comfort. But these numbers will warm up quickly, and we'll be jumping into the 80s in most spots here within the next hour or so. Forecast high temperatures today, mid-90s here in San Antonio, so it's going to be another hot one. There still will be enough humidity around to create a little bit of a heat index. There is some encouraging news, though, in the extended forecast. We'll start to get some drier air in here, especially during the afternoons, and that will keep the heat index from being an issue. It'll still be hot, but it won't be as humid. Here's a look at the water vapor, and we've got an upper level low now spinning just off to our east. We're on the back side of it, which is drawing in some drier air, but there are also a few disturbances still trying to roll around this thing, and despite that dry air, still looks like we can get a couple of shower storms going today. The percentage is less for that reason, but we still have a chance nonetheless. This is at 2 o'clock, a couple of isolated pop-up showers or storms, and this will go through about 5 o'clock. This shows a few more during the rush hour, and then by 8 p.m. everything's starting to die down, and we'll say goodbye to any activity once we lose that daytime heating. So again, the opportunity is there. It just won't be as widespread as yesterday. Meantime, out on the West Coast, we've been talking about this record heat. It's pretty incredible. This ridge is still there. There's still going to be record heat along the West Coast today. Of course, we got our NFL game tonight there in LA as Buffalo takes on the Rams. It'll be hot for that game, although SoFi is somewhat covered. But we're also watching Southern California because we've got a hurricane working up the west coast of Mexico here. And that could actually bring some rain by the weekend to parts of Southern California, some heavy rain. So they'll get some relief from this heat in the form of some tropical weather, which is pretty interesting. You don't see that all that often, but rain could be moving into LA by Saturday because of K. Now it'll be weekend by that point, but still rain nonetheless for those folks who really need it. Noontime today, 88 degrees. By 3 p.m., 93. There's that 10% chance of rain. 95 by 4 p.m., 95 at 5 p.m. And then we'll see the rain chances go away after 8 o'clock. We fall back into the mid-80s and eventually low 70s by tomorrow morning. 95 tomorrow. We're going to do it again. I think we'll still see some more stray showers and storms. But there's that lower afternoon humidity over the weekend. And going into next week, it's very, very consistent forecast. A lot of heat there, but hopefully with lower humidities, the evenings will at least be nice, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Now to a local story about illegal dumping in a northeast side neighborhood. Bexar County officials have made 2 arrests in the case.
This is in the Camelot 2 neighborhood, and Garrett Berringer spoke with the Environmental Services Department about what they're doing to fight a nuisance that affects people countywide.
Trash bags, furniture, and all manner of filth is heaped in this back alley in the Camelot 2 neighborhood.
And it's very disgusting because of the smell, the rats, and people do it all the time.
The neighborhood as a whole is a known problem spot for dumping. In June, the county posted this surveillance video of people throwing out trash and talking it too. At least 3 people were arrested on misdemeanor charges of illegal dumping related to that case. And in a separate case, the county announced this week 2 others had been arrested too, after a driver passing by snapped photos of them ditching mattresses and box springs. One of them, Larry Williams, was hit with a state jail felony charge because investigators say he runs a business.
We've had several arrests in the recent history, and we have noticed a marked difference in the illegal dumping. But in Bexar County, it is a pretty severe issue that we're addressing.
Cameras out in the open, like this one by Montgomery Elementary, where we met Dory's, are meant as a deterrent, while the county's hidden ones catch people in the act, like the folks from the video in June. And now this man, caught adding to the pile in the alley behind Soto's house.
Environmental investigators say they've been able to get a warrant for at least one person who's been caught dumping here. And when they arrest them, they hope that sends a message to others.
But the county's approach isn't just cuffing people. It also has trash service with special rates in 5 neighborhoods, including Camelot 2, a program it's looking to expand in the future. We have information on how to sign up on our website, KSAT.com. Garrett Berringer, KSAT 12 News.
921, 80 degrees.
And coming up next, despite a drop in suicide numbers, it remains one of the leading causes is death, especially for the younger crowd.
I grew up with a parent that struggled continuously, still does.
what survivors are doing to help those impacted by suicide.
924 suicide numbers have dropped here in the U.S. over the past few years, but they're spiking in one certain age group.
As part of National Suicide Prevention Week, Courtney Friedman shares the stories of survivors who are now spending their time creating programs for the young people struggling right now.
I lost my father to suicide in 2010.
Greg Watson was 21 at the time.
I ended up kind of turning to my own self-medication and grief. And it was difficult to get outside of that.
He realizes now he didn't have to grieve alone and is making sure others see that. He's a board member for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, or AFSP, here in San Antonio.
Really feeling that sense of community and connection is important.
Suicide is the 11th leading cause of death in Texas and Bexar County, but it's the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 34.
What is alarming, to your point, is that in Bexar County and in Texas in general, it's actually the second leading cause of death for those aged 10 to 34.
Local AFSP chair Julia Hewitt knows that firsthand. She attempted suicide when she was in that age group.
I grew up with a parent that struggled continuously, still does. I also suffered a loss of a close friend, and it definitely leaves you with more questions than answers.
Trying to find those answers may take professional help, and that's okay. She hopes people will use the many popular programs AFSP has created.
And if you're not the type of person comfortable with getting out and going to a therapy session, the good news is there are tons of apps that you can use on your phone or computer.
Hewitt and Watson are both thrilled about the brand new 3-digit suicide helpline, 988, simplifying the process of reaching out during a crisis.
Giving yourself that grace, but getting outside of your comfort zone.
Knowing there are people just like you, ready to help you heal. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
And if you or someone you know is struggling and you want help, you can head to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's website, or you can dial 988.
Please make that call. You are not alone. 926, 80 degrees.
There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, including a look ahead to football this weekend. The NFL kicking off regular season tonight. We also have high school and college football. David and RJ are going to join us in a few minutes to highlight some of the top matchups.
After heavy rainfall hit parts of northern Mexico last week, one woman is stepping up to help. Our Jessie DeGollado has her story after the break. Welcome back. Heavy rainfall drenched much of the state of Coahuila in northern Mexico last week.
Not only did Ciudad Acuña and Piedras Negras see severe flooding, but also the smaller communities beyond those border cities.
Jessie DeGollado tells us how one San Antonio woman couldn't just watch from afar and not help the area where she's from.
Small towns south of Piedras Negras were underwater when nearby rivers overflowed after torrential rains last week.
It just wouldn't stop raining. Like they weren't expecting that much rain.
Raised in the U.S. but born in one of those devastated towns, Rose Garza says she felt she had to help somehow.
Just wanted to do something for the people in need.
Pero por primeramente Dios. People whose faith in God is all that remains. The mayor of Musquis, Coahuila says 70% of its population lost everything.
Everything that they've had in their life.
Garza says her family also suffered, but at least they're safe. With so many left with nothing, Garza says she's trying to organize a relief effort on social media for the victims. She doesn't have a drop-off location yet, but she does have volunteers willing to take the donations across the border. The Mexican consulate is one of several places here in San Antonio Rose Garza hopes will be able to help her in helping flood victims.
Gracias a Dios, aquí estamos bien, pero hay que ayudar a la gente de México.
Thank God we're doing good here, she says, but we need to help the people of Mexico. Jessie DeGollado, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jessie. To find out more about relief efforts that woman is trying to organize, head to KSAT.com and look for this story.
Apartment tenants living in unsanitary conditions or without running water. That's what District 6 Councilwoman Melissa Cabello Haverda says is happening in our area. And she says more needs to be done to tackle the issue before it gets worse. And right now, the city of San Antonio is looking at some ways to help tenants. One option on the table, adding more compliance officers to specifically deal with compliance issues in apartments. Haverda says another problem is that many tenants are afraid to speak up for themselves.
They're afraid to get in trouble. They're afraid to get evicted. This is the place that they can afford, and they want to continue to work and raise their families there. And if they had their choice, of course, it would be clean and a nice place. And so we have to give them that choice.
And the Texas Tenants Union will be hosting free workshops on tenants' rights. We have information on one of those upcoming workshops happening Monday, and it's right now on our website at ksat.com.
Outside with live cam, checking on things out there by the airport. Sunshine and kind of haze and a few clouds out there. 81 degrees. Justin is here, and you've been tracking showers and storms. Seems like for a couple of weeks. Have they made an impact, Justin?
They have made a little bit of an impact. We're starting to see some of the rivers and streams pick back up, and we're going to have some of that data for you coming up. So we're going to look specifically at the Guadalupe River. Yesterday, those storms did come in, and it was a beautiful sight. Beautiful sight to see on the KSAT Connect. This picture came in from Cece. And she said torrential rain yesterday. You can see that rain. That was just heavy. It's almost like a wall of water there. And it did put down some good numbers in spots. Now, the airport only picked up 0.06 of an inch, but places across northern side of Bexar County saw some good numbers. And really, most of Bexar County at least saw something out of those showers and storms yesterday. So let's look at some of the weather headlines here. We've had mostly clear skies this morning, and I think we'll keep that trend going. There's another small shot at rain this afternoon, so we'll call for some stray storms. The heat is going to be a big story going forward. Temperatures are going to stay above average, mid-90s. No triple digits, but mid-90s, and it will be hot. Lower humidity heads our way, especially this weekend. We'll see the afternoon humidity levels drop, so there will be some nice evenings, as we talked about earlier. 80 degrees right now. Calm winds. Dew point is at 69, and the feels like number is at 83. Your forecast this afternoon, 95, the high temperature. There's that 10% chance for rain with light and variable winds. Another small shot at rain tomorrow. Plus, we're going to take a look back at some history. A big flood happened on this date back in the 1920s. We'll look at that for you coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, Justin. We look forward to it. And football fans should be happy at this time of year. There's a lot going on beginning tonight.
David and RJ are here to break down everything, and we mean everything. I mean, they've covered it. This is the time of year it's a buffet. You got to decide what to serve up, right?
Yeah. What do you have for us?
There's a lot on the plate, a lot on the table for sure right now.
You go through your line of TV stations, all the cables, and just like there's a football game. Which one do I watch? So then you're just going back and forth trying to keep up. It's hard to do.
It's a good excuse to stay on the couch.
Yeah, it gets started. There's NFL tonight, but you know, you put that aside because there's high school football tonight.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of high school action that's starting this weekend, and this is the game that we're focusing on throughout the weekend. Brennan taking on the Harlan Hawks. David.
Yeah, it's coming up tomorrow night, and man, that is good. That's like what 5-2 in 12's top 12. So Harlan's ranked number 5, and Brennan's ranked number 2, I believe. So that's going to be a class. What's amazing to me is we're only in week 3. Yeah. And we're already starting some serious district matchups for a lot of games coming up tomorrow night. So I know like the Northeast Side District, man, those guys are already battling for playoff position, and we're in week 3.
They basically had one tune-up game. Obviously, Brennan, they were at the KSAT Picture Classic, had their game against Steele, beat Brandeis last weekend as well, a big win there. But this is like a big brother, little brother kind of matchup here, because Harlan's sort of still the new kids on the block. They ended up taking some kids from Brennan, and so a lot of these kids know each other. They all grew up with one another. It should be a fun game.
They grew up with one another. They play in these summer camps with they got those 7-on-7s, and they got all these camps that they go to. So a lot of these kids, so it's like they just want to beat their friends. That's all they just want to beat them up. So that'll be fun. It'll be a fun high school football weekend, and then of course we follow that up with a big college Saturday. Woo!
Yeah.
Get ready. It starts early.
It does. UTSA traveling to take on Army this weekend. And the big question for me, David, is can UTSA be able to come off of this loss here and not lose again, basically? Not let this loss beat them up in Army.
I've seen some predictions that have Army winning.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to play at Army, which, the tradition and just playing up there at that stadium is just an amazing scene. So that's going to be great. Yeah, I think they can recover. Well, what they have to do is worry about Army's rush.
Yeah.
Because I think last week against Coastal Carolina, Army only threw the ball 8 times. They had 152 yards passing, though.
That's what happens, yeah.
But they only threw it 8 times, and they rushed for 202 yards, so they rushed for a lot more than they passed for. So, that defensive line and those linebackers are going to need a workout.
Yeah, big thing is here, obviously don't fall behind early because then Army basically just controls the game from that point on. But UTSA, again, they are 2-point favorites, I believe, in this game. So, the odds makers thinking that UTSA's got a good shot to win this game here.
I'll take them by a touchdown. UTSA by a touchdown.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I mean, there's too much senior and veteran leadership on this team to let last week play into this week. So I think Frank Harris and those guys will rebound, and I think to do it in a good way.
And speaking of UTSA, so they obviously don't want to look ahead here, but they're going to be in Austin next week to take on Texas. But Texas has got their hands full this weekend against the
Here's the first problem Texas needs to solve. They got to make sure their quarterback has a parking spot somewhere near the stadium, and he doesn't
Make
get
sure he
towed
gets to the game.
and have to call an Uber to get back home after the game's over. So it's going to be bad enough they got to take on Alabama. But then when your quarterback doesn't even have a place to park his car, then you're really in trouble. So they'll solve that problem, and then they got to solve I give Texas credit. I mean, it's the second game of the season. A lot of teams aren't playing tough games, but Texas stepped up and took on Alabama.
They did, yeah. We just saw that highlight there. The last time these two teams played was the 2009 Rose Bowl when Alabama beat UT in the national championship game. So UT right now about a 20-point underdog in that one, but it should be an exciting one up in Austin.
Strange things happen at games in the early season.
Also talking App State.
Yeah, App State.
Appalachian State.
Justin's apparently very concerned about Appalachian State.
Well, did they win last week, or they gave somebody a run for their money?
They had one of the games of the weekend,
Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina, that was a good game.
They're a good squad, so don't tell me it's a cupcake game.
But North Carolina ain't no A&M, so, we'll
not.
see how this goes.
Yeah, and of course A&M's defense getting a lot of the headlines here. I think App State's, he was asked about, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, they're just very good. That's all I'm going to say right now. He doesn't want to add any fuel to the fire there. A&M's defense is one of the best in the country right now.
Okay, 3 other things to mention real quick. You got the Texans opening up against the Colts. You got the Cowboys opening up against that real old guy, Tom Brady, Sunday night at 7:20 on national TV. What is he, like 80, 85?
David Sears.
And do not forget that Manu Ginobili is going to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame on Saturday, and Greg Simmons will be there for that induction. So Saturday night and all day Sunday on Instant Replay Sunday night, a lot of coverage from Manu's, and Tim's going to be the one
Springfield,
that presenting
Massachusetts.
So Tim Duncan and Manu together again.
I can't wait for that speech from Manu. I'm imagining it's going to be very emotional. But you guys, you mentioned just a buffet of action. NFL officially starting up this weekend as well tonight.
Good luck watching all that this weekend.
How do you even keep up?
Yeah, multiple devices.
Yeah.
We got it covered.
Yeah.
All right.
Good preview. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, y'all.
9:40, 81 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Let's look outside with TransGuide real quick. We still have that accident there at Loop 1604 at Huebner, and this is westbound, and you can see the emergency vehicles right there. We'll be right back.
No water and no help. People in a small Frio County community say they've been forgotten after spending weeks without water.
Derby is about 10 miles southwest of Pearsall, and residents there have been without water since August 6th.
People tell us they've had water issues since way back in July, and water delivery stopped coming in about 2 weeks ago. Now emotions are boiling over as residents are having to buy bottled water just to get by.
This is United States, this is America. Nobody help us. We complain all the time and nobody help us.
I had to even short my landlord this month $175 because I had to use it for water. I mean, that's a necessity. You don't realize how much you use water until you have no water.
Derby ING is a private company that supplies water to the town. The owner says the drought brought the water level below its pump at Carrizo Springs, and they hope to have a contractor on site next week. They did not have a timeline for when running water would be back.
9:44, Justin is back, and we are talking about an update to the situation on one of the big rivers in our area, the Guadalupe.
Yeah, the Guadalupe is flowing again. It always had water in it, but it wasn't flowing in some cases. We're starting to see it flow, and that's great news. We're going to show you the stats here in just a second. First, I want to take you back in history, 1921. This was a big flood here in San Antonio. It was the one that really flooded downtown. There was only 7 inches of rain that fell here in and around San Antonio, but up to 40 inches of rain fell up around the Austin area. Downtown went underwater, but this was the flood that spurred the building of the Riverwalk and the Olmos Dam. So this is what kind of kicked the flood control into high gear here in San Antonio. And that was way back in 1921, one of the floods we really remember here in San Antonio, along with, of course, 98 and a couple other big ones mixed in there. Let's talk about the Guadalupe River. As Mark was mentioning, things are looking better. The stream flow at Kerrville is at 27 cubic feet per second. We've seen stream flow pick up from 0 now up to 17, and Comfort, same story, Spring Branch is up to 35 cubic feet per second. So this is a good increase. Not as high as it was a year ago, but much, much better than it was, say, a month ago. 86 cubic feet per second there around New Braunfels. So things are looking up, but we still need more rain to keep this thing going. This is those are the latest numbers as of this morning, by the way. As we go outside for you, we've got mostly clear skies, 80 degrees at the airport, 79 Stinson, 79 Kelly, 80 right now at Randolph. Light winds, and we don't expect much in the way of gusty winds today. 76 Kerrville, 79 in New Braunfels. Mainly right around 80 here in town at this hour. It does feel a little bit warmer than that. Well, look at the numbers going forward. I mean, we're talking 90s, mid-90s here across the board. Very consistent and above average, I might add. So it's going to be a hot stretch here going forward as the pattern doesn't shift a whole lot. Now, there's an upper-level low just off to our east. On the back side of it, this orange color on the water vapor represents some dry air. In spite of that, there are still just some disturbances rolling around the backside of this thing. And so I still think that we'll have a chance for a shower or storm today. It just won't be as widespread as it was yesterday. Probably few and far between, really, but there is a 10% chance of some storms this afternoon. So let's go through the forecast here. By 2 p.m., this model puts most of the rain, if we're going to see any pop-ups around 2 o'clock, down closer to the coast. But by 4 o'clock, it does show some pop-up showers or storms near to San Antonio, perhaps in time for the evening commute. But again, I think you're going to have to, get lucky to get any rain today because of just the way things are setting up. It's not going to be terribly widespread, which is why we're going with a 10% chance of rain. Most everything dies down after sunset. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 84 by 11 o'clock, 88 noontime. There are those mid-90s we were talking about with mostly sunny skies and that 10% chance of rain today. 91 at 7 o'clock, 88, 8 p.m., and then down to 86 by 9 p.m. with rain chances out of the picture. 95 tomorrow. We're still going to keep a 10% chance of rain and because the setup is pretty much the same tomorrow. But by Saturday and Sunday, things should dry out. We're going to see lower humidity during the afternoons. So that's one positive takeaway, I suppose. But this is moving back into more of a summer-like pattern. We're still waiting on that first big front. Don't see it in the models anytime soon. We'll get there, though. Typically, we start to see some of those fronts coming through by late September, early October.
All right. We'll prepare for the heat then.
Yep.
Thanks, Justin.
9:48, 83 degrees.
And Pinocchio is back for a new generation of kids and families. What the actors in the film say makes this movie so magical.
Pinocchio first entered the hearts of moviegoers back in 1940. Now, 82 years later, there's a new version starring Tom Hanks.
It debuts on Disney Plus today, and ABC's George Pinocchio reports from last night's world premiere on the Disney lot in California.
When you wish upon a star.
Director Robert Zemeckis is the man behind this new version of Pinocchio. The Oscar-winning director of Forrest Gump teamed up again with his Oscar-winning star, Tom Hanks, who plays Geppetto.
Tom and I have a shorthand. I mean, Tom has said to me in the past, he says, I always know we're going to do another one depending on how I hear you say the word cut.
Hanks says Walt Disney wanted to make great movies, so Zemeckis was the right man to reimagine this Disney masterpiece.
And, handing this over to Bob Zemeckis at this day and age, I think that holds with that tradition.
Turn around, let me get a look at you. I will be right here when you get back.
I like that she's got the G's on for Geppetto.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
That is so good.
I didn't even think of that. How about that?
That is exactly what it is. Geppetto.
For the young actor who plays the title role, this is a dream come true.
It's one of those magical moments, like being part of such a big Disney film and a reimagination, like working with Tom Hanks, Robert Zemeckis, Luke Evans, Cynthia Erivo, the list goes on.
What you see on the screen is very much
the imagination and the creation of very clever people with computers.
I have like a wonderful, like, forgive the pun, moment to stretch my wings, and then I get to sing this wonderful song, and then I go, and it's lovely.
Believe me! Oops.
Pinocchio begins streaming on Disney Plus today. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Looking ahead tomorrow on GMSA at 9, a one-on-one with Dylan Collier has been covering the case of former Constable Michelle Barrientos Vela from the very beginning.
He's going to tell us what's next for the now convicted felon and the message this whole case has sent to other public officials in our area.
That interview tomorrow right here on GMSA at 9. Checking traffic right now. It's frozen, but we can tell you that the accident is still working. This is westbound 1604 at Heemner with stacking quite a ways, almost all the way back now to 281. So again, be advised, some traffic is getting through, but it's going to linger for quite a little while. Justin.
Yeah, you can see that backup, and we'll also point out that there is a backup on I-35 as well if you're traveling that area between 410 and 1604. So just a heads up. Quick last look at the forecast. 95 today, 95 tomorrow. Small chance of some afternoon showers or storms. Otherwise, it is a quiet and hot forecast going forward.
That's right. And get ready. The new cast of Dancing with the Stars announced today. So we have singer Jordan Sparks, actor Daniel Durant, Olympic lifter and son of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Joseph Baena.
Country singer Jesse James Decker, Bachelorette Gabby Wendy, social media sensation Charlie D'Amelio and her mother Heidi, first ever mother and daughter team.
Well, mother versus daughter. I don't know who to cheer for.
Oh, mother versus daughter.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Also, actor Jason Lewis, Hallmark actor Trevor Donovan, celebrity drag queen. Let's see. It's Shangela. Shangela. There you go.
Comedian Wayne Brady, actress Cheryl Ladd, and Jersey Shore's Vinny Guadagnino.
And New Jersey housewife, we have Teresa Giudice, and meteorologist Sam Champion, and actress Selma Blair.
Heads up, Dancing with the Stars premieres coming up on the 19th, but only on Disney Plus. So big change there for Dancing with the Stars.
No longer ABC.
All right, so in just minutes at 10 o'clock, new entertainers at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo are going to be announced.
We did have the first round, though, announced last month, so these next performers announced will be in addition to those mentioned earlier in the month. Again, a reminder, the rodeo will be on February 9th through the 26th. You can check out our website at KSAT.com for that announcement.
And just so you know, just to kind of recap, the first entertainers already announced include Jake Owen, Carly Pierce,
Lee Bryce, Keith Urban. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner.
Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, those are good names. I'm excited to hear what else is coming.
All right, so more to come. We'll have more online and on air right here on KSAT 12.
That's right. In just a few minutes. You guys have a good day.